My daughters, help me carry my firewood. I am exhausted. Never call me your daughter again. Joy and Tracy were best friends in the village of Oduka. They were both 19 years old, still in high school, and everyone knew them as the two inseparable girls. Tracy was bold, sharp-tongued, and proud. Joy was quiet, kind, and always thoughtful toward others. That morning, the sun was already shining. The road was red and dusty, and the school bell could ring at any moment. They walked quickly, their school bags bouncing on their backs because they were almost late. Tracy kept complaining as she hurried along. "Joy, hurry up! If we are late again, Madame Rose will humiliate us. I am not kneeling today," said Tracy, as she pulled Joy along as if time itself were chasing them. When they reached the foot of the large tree that lined the road, they saw an old woman coming toward them. She was very weak, bent over, and trembling as if old age were killing her. A heavy bundle of firewood was tied to her head with a rough rope, and her hands shook as she tried to keep it balanced. She was barefoot, her wrapper was old and patched, and sweat was already streaming down her face. Even though it was still early, she stopped in front of them, breathing hard, her voice weak as if she were begging with all her strength. "My daughters, please help me carry my firewood home. It is not far from here." Tracy's face hardened at once. She frowned, looking offended. "No," she exclaimed sharply. "Ugly old woman, we cannot do anything for you. We are going to school, and we are already late. Why are you bothering us? Go find your own children." The old woman blinked and lowered her gaze. But Joy stepped closer, worried. "Mama, do not worry," Joy said gently. "I will help you carry it." Then Joy turned to Tracy. "Tracy, go to school. I will join you later. Let me help her." Tracy shouted, "Joy, you are crazy! Who is your mother? Is she your mother? You do not even know her. Come on, let us go. We are late." Joy shook her head. "I cannot leave her like this. She is weak and she might fall." Furious, Tracy grabbed her arm. "So you want us to be punished because of a stranger? Do you love suffering too much? Do you always want to play the saint?" Joy gently pulled her hand away. "It is not about playing a role. It is about helping." Tracy's gaze turned icy. "Fine, carry the wood, but do not call me when you are punished." Then, bitterly, she added, "Listen, you will soon no longer be my friend. I do not follow stubborn people who do such nonsense." Tracy turned and walked quickly toward the school path, still angry, muttering without even looking back. Joy watched her go for a moment, feeling a painful tightness in her chest, then turned back to the old woman. The woman looked at Joy as if she could not believe her eyes. "Do you really want to help me?" the old lady asked. Joy nodded. "Yes, Mama." She knelt, stood up, and tried to lift the heavy bundle. The wood pressed so hard on her head that her knees trembled, but she refused to cry. The old woman supported her and pointed to a small path away from the main road. "This way," she said softly. Joy took her first step on the path, late for school, abandoned by her best friend, carrying a burden that felt too heavy for her age. Yet she kept walking, unaware that this small act of kindness would open a door that would change her life forever. Joy followed the old woman along 3 paths, and the noise of the main road faded behind her. The trees were tall on both sides, the bushes thick, and the morning air was cooler. Joy kept adjusting the firewood because it weighed on her head like a stone. She already had a stiff neck, but refused to complain. The old woman followed slowly, leaning on a small cane, breathing as if she had carried the weight of pain for years. Joy tried to keep her voice calm. Mama, are you sure your house is not far? Because this wood is heavy. The old woman answered weakly, It is not far, my daughter. Just a little more. Joy nodded and continued, but inside she was thinking about school. She imagined the bell ringing, the teacher writing the names of late students, and Tracy entering class alone with a closed face, telling everyone that Joy was arrogant and pretentious. Joy felt shame rising, but she pushed it down. She told herself that the woman needed help. After a few minutes, Joy's legs began to tremble. Drops of sweat ran into her eyes. Her breathing became labored. She stopped for a moment and leaned slightly to rest the burden. But the old woman quickly said, Do not let it fall to the ground, my daughter, please. Joy turned, surprised. Why? The old woman looked away. Because the dust will get into it. Joy did not understand, but forced herself to pick it up again and keep going. The deeper they went, the more silence settled in. Joy began to feel uneasy, not because she feared the old woman, but because the place seemed deserted. She asked again, Mama, do you live alone here? The old woman answered slowly, I live with what life has given me. Joy frowned. The answer sounded like a riddle. She wanted to ask more, but did not want to seem disrespectful. Soon the path opened into a small clearing, and Joy slowed down, incredulous at what she saw. In front of her was a small courtyard. It was an old, silent, and tired place, as if it had been there too long without care. The old woman gently pushed the gate and said, Come in, my daughter. Joy entered slowly, still carrying the heavy firewood. The old woman led her to the side of the courtyard and pointed to a spot near an old shed. Put it there, she said. Joy dropped the wood and nearly fell with it. She held her neck and breathed with difficulty, tears in her eyes from the sharp pain. She looked at the old woman, then around, and could not help speaking. Mama, this place is dirty, Joy said with concern. You are too weak to do everything alone. The old woman looked at her in silence, breathing slowly, as if waiting to see what Joy would do next. Joy did not wait for permission. She said, Mama, sit down and let me help you. Joy took a broom, leaning against the wall. She began sweeping the leaves, the dust, and the dirt that had piled up in the corners. While sweeping, she shook her head. Mama, why do you live like this? This place needs maintenance, she said. The old woman answered softly, People have not come here for a long time. Joy felt a pain in her chest, but kept sweeping. After cleaning, Joy went behind the house and found a small bundle of dry twigs and a pot that seemed never to have been used. She washed the pot carefully, washed her hands, and asked the old woman, Mama, do you have anything to cook? The old woman pointed to a small sack and a small basket. Joy opened them and found some small grains, a few dried peppers, and some fresh vegetables. Joy nodded. All right, Mama, I will prepare something simple for you. She lit a small fire and cooked a light meal. For the first time, the smell of food filled the air of the courtyard, and the place regained a warm and welcoming atmosphere. The old lady watched Joy from her seat, silent, her eyes fixed on every movement, as if she were looking at an image she had searched for all her life. When the meal was ready, Joy served the old lady first, even though she herself was hungry. Mama, eat, she said gently. The old woman held the plate with a trembling hand and ate slowly. After a while, she looked up and said, Thank you, my daughter. Joy smiled. You are welcome, Mama. Then Joy stood up suddenly, reality catching up with her harshly. She looked again toward the school and sighed. Mama, I must go. I am already very late. They will punish me," she said. The old woman nodded and stood up slowly. "Come," she said softly, and entered the old house. Joy followed, thinking the old woman wanted to give her advice, or perhaps beg her to come back another day. But the old woman went to a corner and brought out a traditional white pot. It was not large, but it had something special about it. It was clean and bright, as if it did not belong to this dirty place. Joy looked at it, puzzled. The old woman held it out to her. "Here is my reward for you," she said. Joy's eyes widened. "Mama, no, I cannot accept it. I only helped you. It is fine." The old woman brought it closer. "Take it," she said firmly. Joy picked it up slowly with both hands, still puzzled. "What is it for?" she asked. The old woman came closer and lowered her voice as if sharing a secret that could change a life. "If you need anything in this life, touch this pot 3 times, and everything you need, absolutely everything, will appear inside it." Joy froze. She looked at the pot again, then at the old woman's face. Her eyes were calm, serious, and determined. She did not seem to be joking. Joy's heart began to race. "Mama, how is this possible?" The old woman sighed. "My daughter," she said, "never speak of it to anyone. Keep it to yourself. If you tell, they will destroy you and destroy this gift. And listen to me. Keep helping others. Do it well, my child. Kindness is not made of noise. It is made for destiny." Joy nodded slowly, still in shock. "Yes, Mama," she said. Joy carried the pot carefully, as if it could destroy her life if it fell. She moved toward the door, her mind troubled, her hands trembling. She wanted to turn back to ask questions, but the old woman's voice stopped her sharply. "My daughter," said the old woman, "you cannot walk home." Joy stopped and turned. "Why, Mama?" The old woman looked grave. "It is dangerous. Wild animals are everywhere. I do not think you realize how far we have come to get here. If you decide to go back alone, it is too risky." Joy's heart jumped. "Then what should I do, Mama?" she asked, trying not to show her fear. The old woman stood up slowly, came closer, and spoke in a calm voice as if giving a simple instruction. "Close your eyes." Joy hesitated. Her mind was confused. That morning, everything had already gone beyond the limits. But she obeyed. She pressed the white pot against her chest and closed her eyes. Then she felt a gentle breeze caress her face, as if the air had moved. Her stomach tightened slightly, the way it does when you stand up too quickly. It lasted only a moment. Then the old woman's voice came again, soft and clear. "Open your eyes." Joy opened her eyes, and her whole body froze. She was no longer in the old lady's courtyard. She was in her own small room, the same room in her aunt's house. Joy opened her mouth, but no sound came out. She looked down at her hands. The native pot was still there. Her knees buckled. She sat slowly on the mattress, as if her legs could no longer hold her. Her heart was pounding, and her eyes scanned the room constantly, as if she expected the walls to change. "No, no, how?" she whispered. She rushed to the window and looked outside. She saw the village road. She heard people's voices. She heard normal life. It was as if that strange place had never existed. Joy held the pot tighter. Her breathing was ragged. Then she whispered again, this time with fear and shock. "What happened to me?" A few minutes later, Joy was still standing in the middle of her room. Her mind kept replaying the same scene like a film. The old woman's weak voice, The heavy sound of the firewood, the courtyard, the sweeping, the cooking, the native pot. Then, strangely, she had opened her eyes and found herself in her room. Joy's heart was still racing. She kept asking herself the same question. Was it real? Was it a dream? How had I returned so quickly? She took a small step, then stopped again, still confused, still lost in her thoughts. Suddenly the door of her room burst open. Her aunt stormed in, furious like a storm. She did not even greet her, her face twisted with irritation. "Joy!" she cried. "So you did not go to school?" Joy blinked as if coming back to life. "And?" she managed to say, but the woman did not let her finish the sentence. "What are you doing in this house this morning? Are you seeing men now?" She stared at her with disgust. "Is that why you are standing there looking lost as if you came from nowhere?" Joy stood with her mouth open. "No, Aunt, But her aunt cut her off with a loud hiss. "Shut up!" she snapped. "Never lie to me again. You are wearing your uniform and you are still at home. What is going on? Do you think you are grown? Do you want to sleep with anyone?" Joy's eyes widened in shock. "Aunt, I have not done anything like that," she answered immediately. "I was just—" "Just what?" the aunt barked, standing like a goat. She shook her head vigorously. "Thank God I have not yet paid your school fees. Thank God. May God protect me. This useless girl wants to disgrace me." Joy's throat tightened. She tried to stay calm. "Aunt, please, I only helped an old lady, and I was late." And the aunt laughed a wicked laugh. "Old lady," she repeated. "You see, every day you have a story. Tomorrow it will be that you helped a young man. Tomorrow it will be that you fell into someone's bed. Listen to me, Joy. If you want to continue, if you want to do what you want, just do not disgrace my family." Joy's eyes were watery. "Aunt, I will not ruin my life," she said softly. "I was just about to go to school." The aunt laughed. "Now, when classes have already started, you see, you are useless." Then she spoke louder, as if she wanted the whole courtyard to hear. "You eat my food, you wear my clothes, and you still want to waste my money on school." Joy shook her head. "Aunt, please." "Please what?" the aunt interrupted. "If you talk too much, I will stop you from going to school, because I have not even paid your fees. I am even glad I have not paid them. Little good-for-nothing." Joy stood there, holding back her tears, while her aunt bombarded her with insults like a torrent. Deep inside, fear and anger mixed together. The next morning, Joy and Tracy were on their way to school, but the atmosphere between them was different. Tracy walked quickly and angrily, her face tight as if she had chewed bitter cola. Joy followed silently, her bag in her hand, trying to look normal, but she kept thinking about everything that had happened the day before. Tracy did not even greet her politely. She started speaking harshly. "So you left me yesterday to follow that old witch?" Tracy snapped irritably. "Joy, you are lucky she did not eat you. I thought she was going to hurt you. You are really stubborn. That is what I hate about you. You do not listen to me like a friend." Joy sighed and looked at her. "Tracy, there is nothing wrong with helping people," she said calmly. "You are too harsh. Try to be gentler. You do too much." Tracy stopped for a moment and faced Joy. "Gentler," she repeated sarcastically. "You want to die young. That is why you like being gentle. In life, if you are too gentle, people will use you and throw you away." They continued walking, and Tracy shook her head. "Soon. You think you are wise. One day your kindness will cause you trouble." Joy did not answer. She simply continued on her way, not wanting another argument. After a short silence, Tracy's mood changed suddenly, as if a sweet memory had returned. She leaned in and lowered her voice like a gossip. "By the way," she said, "some young people from the city are coming to the village tomorrow. They are organizing a big party tonight. Music, drinks, everything will be there. All the pretty girls will be there. Are you coming with me?" Joy's eyes widened at once. "Never!" she exclaimed. "I am not going anywhere. I will stay home and read my books." Tracy stared at her as if she were hearing madness. "Books?" Tracy repeated. "Joy, are you serious?" Joy nodded. "Yes, I want to finish my studies. I do not party at night." Tracy whistled loudly. "You are really a village girl," she said with disgust. "A village girl who knows nothing about pleasure. You do not know what life is." Joy looked at her and said in a soft but firm voice, "Pleasure is not everything, Tracy. That kind of life is not for everyone." Tracy rolled her eyes and quickened her pace. "Stay with your books," she threw over her shoulder. "Do not cry when you see others progressing." Joy kept silent, but deep inside, she felt that familiar pain again, the pain of being mocked for being different. Yet she kept repeating one thing to herself as she walked. "I will not change my mind just because someone wants to shame me." During recess, Tracy joined Joy, who was near the classroom hallway. Tracy's face was serious, as if she were bringing important news. "Joy, they did not call your name this morning in the assembly for unpaid school fees. How is that possible? Have you paid your fees?" Joy nodded. "Yes." Tracy stood with her mouth open in shock. "How?" she asked. "So your aunt finally gave you the money? Thank God. Oh, before that wicked woman blocked your way." Joy's expression changed. "Tracy, please, do not insult her," she said softly. Tracy waved her hand. "Whatever," she replied, indifferent. At that moment, a first-year student walked slowly past them. He looked sad, weighed down by heavy thoughts. He greeted them politely. "Good morning, seniors." Joy noticed his face immediately. She turned and called him. "Hey, why are you sad? You are always so happy. What happened?" The boy stopped. His eyes looked tired. He hesitated, then spoke in a low voice. "Sister Joy, my mother is sick," he said. "She has been in the hospital since yesterday, and I have not yet paid my school fees. They said they will send me home tomorrow." Joy's heart tightened. Without hesitation, she placed a gentle hand on his shoulder and said, "Do not worry. Tomorrow morning I will pay your school fees." The boy's eyes widened. Joy continued, "Come to my house tonight. I will give you money for your mother's hospital bills." The boy's face lit up. "Ah, thank you, Sister Joy," he said joyfully. "May God bless you." He almost bowed. "Thank you, thank you." Then he hurried away, smiling for the first time. As soon as he left, Tracy came closer with a strange look on her face. "Wait a minute," she said slowly. "Joy, are you hiding something from me?" Joy looked away. "Absolutely nothing," she answered quickly. Tracy narrowed her eyes. "Stop the nonsense," she said. "How is it nothing? You just promised someone money. You and I know you are poor. Where will you get the money?" Joy's heart was pounding, but she stayed calm. "Tracy, I am not poor," said Joy. "Do not worry. The Lord will provide." Tracy was not the happy kind. She was the mocking kind. "I knew it. You are sleeping with men in this village. That is where the money comes from. I thought I was the black sheep, but you are worse. You do it in secret." Joy's eyes widened in shock. "Tracy, how can you say that?" Tracy frowned. "Then explain yourself," she challenged. How did you pay your fees? How can you promise me money for the hospital? Do not tell me the Lord will provide for all my needs like for little children. Joy, I know you." Joy swallowed hard. She wanted to tell Tracy the truth, but the old woman's warning came back to her like a flame. Never speak of it to anyone. Keep it to yourself. Joy forced herself to breathe and said, "Tracy, I am not sleeping with anyone. Stop talking like that, please." Tracy shook her head slowly. "If you want to lie, do so," she said, "but I will watch you because something is going on." Joy looked at her best friend and felt a deep pain. Tracy did not trust her at all. After classes, Joy went home quietly as if nothing had happened. When she reached the house, she entered her small room and gently locked the door. She stood there for a moment, breathing slowly, then remembered the pot. Her hands trembled slightly as she took out the pot and placed it on the floor. Joy looked at it as if she were speaking to a living being. She bent down, touched it 3 times, and whispered, "Please, my dear pot, I need money." Immediately, the pot began to produce money. Joy's eyes widened. She covered her mouth with her hand to stop herself from screaming. It was real. It was not a dream. She quickly gathered the money, counted what she needed, and hid the rest in a safe place. Then she left the house. While walking down the street, she met the father of the first-year student coming toward her. The man looked worried and tired, like someone who had not slept well. When he saw Joy, he rushed over. "My daughter," he cried, "my son told me you want to help us. Is it true?" Joy nodded. "Yes, Papa, it is true." The man's eyes filled with tears. "Ah, may God bless you," he said. "My son told me you asked him to bring us tonight." Joy shook her head. "No need, Papa. I could not wait until evening." She took out the money and gave it to him. "Take this. Use it for the hospital and the medicine. Go quickly, please." The man stood still as if hypnotized. He looked at the money, then back at Joy in shock. "My daughter, are you sure?" he asked, almost trembling. Joy nodded again. "Yes, Papa. Go take care of Mama, please." The man's knees nearly gave way. He raised his hands to the sky and began to pray right there on the road. "God of heaven, thank you," he cried. "My daughter, may you enter the best university in the world and graduate with honors. You will marry a good husband. You will not suffer. You will not cry. Continue like this, my daughter. God will reward you." Joy's expression softened, and she smiled. "Amen, Papa," she said softly. "Thank you." Then Joy added, "Tomorrow morning I will pay your son's school fees when I get to school, so they do not send him home." The man's face lit up with even greater joy. "Ah!" he exclaimed. "What would we have done without you? May God bless you. Joy, you have just saved a life. Thank you. Thank you." Joy shook her head gently. "It is nothing, Papa," she said. "Please, go quickly to the hospital." The man continued thanking her as he walked away quickly, clutching the money as if it were his last hope. Joy watched him go, her heart filled with warmth because, for the first time in her life, she understood that her kindness could truly change someone's destiny. 2 days later, trouble came to Joy through the person she suspected the least, Tracy. That afternoon, Joy's aunt was outside in the courtyard doing small chores. When Tracy entered, her face was both serious and annoyed. She did not greet her with her usual cheer. Her greeting was that of someone who had come to drop a bomb and leave immediately. "Good morning, Mama," said Tracy. Joy's aunt looked at her. "Good morning, Tracy. Where is Joy?" Tracy lowered her voice at once and came closer as if sharing a secret. "Mama, I came because I do not want trouble. Please do not say anything to Joy," she added quickly. Joy's aunt frowned. "Say what?" Tracy glanced around the compound, then whispered, "Mama, you do not know? They say Joy is now giving money to the villagers like a millionaire. Money for school fees, money for the hospital, money for food. Everyone is talking about it." Joy's aunt froze. "Joy sharing money," she repeated slowly. Tracy nodded. "Yes, Mama, and they say she is sleeping with the men in the village. That is where the money comes from." She pretended disappointment. Joy's aunt's eyes turned red. Her face changed completely. "So Joy has money, and we are suffering in this house." Tracy shrugged. "I do not know, Mama. I only know what people are saying, and I do not like shame. I do not want people to say I am a bad girl. That is why I stopped following her." Joy's aunt's hand trembled. "Ah, so she was hiding money from me," she cried. Tracy quickly raised her hands. "Mama, please, do not mention my name. I did not tell you anything. I just came as a friend," said Tracy, already backing away. Joy's aunt was already furious. "A real friend," she barked. "Go, get out of my compound." Tracy turned and hurried out as if her mission were complete. Joy's aunt paced the compound, clearly beside herself. "So this girl has money and she is acting like a big lady," she kept repeating it. "I am struggling and she is hiding her money. God will not forgive her." At that exact moment, Joy entered the courtyard, unaware that her life was about to turn upside down. Before she could even greet her, her aunt rushed at her like a lioness. "Joy," she cried, "so you are now distributing money in this village like a millionaire?" Joy stopped short. "Aunt, what are you talking about?" Her aunt's eyes were filled with anger and shame. "Do not ask me any questions," she shouted. "Where did you get the money? Where? They say you are paying hospital bills and school fees. You are sleeping with the men in this village." Joy's heart jumped. "Aunt, I am not sleeping with anyone," she answered immediately. Her aunt let out a bitter laugh. "Then where does the money come from?" she demanded. "Answer me." Joy opened her mouth, but no words came out because she remembered the old woman's warning perfectly. Do not tell anyone. Joy's silence made her aunt even angrier. "So you are going to hide money from me? You want to keep it for yourself while we suffer?" Joy gently took her aunt's hands. "Aunt, please." But her aunt pushed her away. "Please what?" she cried. "Useless girl! You are going to disgrace me in this village." A few days later, Joy and Tracy were walking slowly along the village road, strolling as if they had all the time in the world. Tracy spoke as if nothing had happened, but Joy still felt the bitterness inside her. As she walked, an old woman from the neighborhood appeared on the side, looking weak and tired. Her wrapper was worn and her face showed suffering. She greeted them and begged softly, "My daughters, please help me. Even a little money so I can eat. Give me money, please." Joy's heart softened at once. She approached and gently took the woman's hand. "Mama, do not worry," said Joy. "I will help you. I will bring you the money later. First, I will run to the market to get something for my aunt." The old woman's eyes lit up as if hope had returned. "Ah, thank you, my daughter," she said joyfully. "May God bless you. I will wait for you." Then the old woman walked away slowly, thanking Joy as she went. As soon as the woman left, Tracy's face changed. Anger rose in her eyes. "So that is it," she said, stopping on the road. "You say I am your best friend, but you have given money to everyone without giving me any." Joy looked at her, surprised. "Because you never ask me for help," she answered calmly. Tracy laughed, incredulous. "Do I really have to ask you?" she said. "Are we not friends? Do I have to beg before you do something for me?" Joy sighed. "All right," she said. "How much do you need?" Tracy's eyes lit up at once, as if she had been waiting for the question. 2 million naira, Tracy answered confidently, in cash. "I also want a new iPhone and clothes. I will manage to find the money even if it will not be enough." Joy stared at her as if she had not heard correctly. "Tracy, are you all right?" asked Joy. 2 million, an iPhone, clothes. You are crazy." Tracy frowned. Joy continued, her voice getting louder. "It is absurd. Where am I going to find such a sum? You are completely mad." Tracy's face turned red with anger. "But you have given money to the villagers. Do not pretend. I also heard that you are sleeping with the chief down there. We all know that man is rich. Imagine that I gave him attention but he refused to see me. Now he is going out with a village girl like you." Joy's eyes widened. Her whole body trembled with anger and pain. "Tracy, are you crazy saying that?" Joy exclaimed. "I do not receive money from any man. I am not sleeping with anyone. I help people out of pure generosity, not for personal gain." Tracy let out a bitter laugh. "So now you talk to me like that? After all our friendship?" Joy's eyes were red. "Friendship?" Joy repeated. "Tracy, you do not even respect me. You see me only as someone you can use. You only accuse me, insult me, and spread lies about me. You know what? I have had enough. Enough, Tracy." Joy nodded firmly. "Yes, it is over between us. Do not come near me again." Tracy opened her mouth to speak, but Joy did not give her time. She turned and walked away furiously, leaving Tracy standing on the side of the road in shock and bitterness. Joy went home that day, her heart still on fire after the argument. She entered the compound quietly, but her aunt was already waiting, looking for a fight. As soon as Joy entered, her aunt started shouting. "So you are rich now? You are sharing money?" she said angrily. "You are strutting around like a big lady, and yet you contribute nothing to this house. Joy, listen to me well. Soon I will throw you out. You will have to fend for yourself since you like doing things your own way." Joy tried to speak, but her aunt did not let her. "Stop telling me stories," she barked. "I have had enough of you. I have had enough of your double life. You take me for a fool. One day you will simply disappear and disgrace me. Believe me, you will leave this house soon." Joy went to her room and sat down, her eyes full of tears. She felt trapped. She felt alone. She had lost Tracy. She was arguing with her aunt, and the village was already talking about it. 1 week later, on a quiet evening, someone knocked on Joy's door. When Joy opened it, she saw Tracy with a small smile on her lips and a bottle in her hand. "Joy," said Tracy softly, "I am sorry." Joy's face remained expressionless. Tracy came closer. "Please, my best friend," she begged. "I was angry. I talked too much. I miss you. You know you are my only true friend. Forgive me." Joy looked at her for a long time. Tracy's eyes were wet, and her voice was as sweet as honey. She kept begging, saying kind words, reminding Joy of the good old days, laughing softly, and touching Joy's hand with sincere affection. Joy's heart was tender, even though she tried to look strong. After Tracy had begged for a while, Joy finally sighed and said, All right, I forgive you, but never speak to me like that again." Tracy's face lit up with happiness. Thank you," she said, almost jumping. "Let us celebrate with this wine, my best friend." Joy hesitated. "Tracy, you know I do not drink alcohol," she said. Tracy waved her hand quickly. "Ah, stop. It is not alcoholic. It is just normal wine without alcohol. It is like juice. I brought it because I know you like sweet things." Joy still seemed uncertain. Tracy said, "Joy, do you think I want to hurt you after coming to beg you like this? Come on, just a little." Joy finally accepted because she longed for peace and because Tracy had become her friend again. They sat in Joy's room, and Tracy poured the drink into 2 glasses. Joy took small sips first. It was sweet and did not burn her throat like alcohol, so she relaxed. Tracy kept smiling, looking cheerful, telling jokes, making Joy laugh quietly. Then Tracy poured again. "Drink some more," she said. "Today is a celebration. Do not be stingy with pleasure." Joy shook her head. "Are you all right?" Tracy insisted. "Just a little more." Joy drank again. After a while, Joy felt her head lighten. Her eyes began to blink. Her body warmed. She laughed at things that were not funny. Then Tracy leaned toward her with a serious face. "Joy," she said softly, "tell me the truth. Where does the money come from?" Joy smiled foolishly and waved her hand. "It is from God," she said. Tracy frowned. "Stop that. What God would drop money into your hands like that? Tell me. I am your best friend." Joy's head swayed. "My God," she repeated, laughing. Tracy's gaze sharpened. She filled Joy's glass more. "Drink," she said softly. "Maybe you will feel better." Joy drank more. Her tongue loosened. Her eyelids grew heavy. She began to speak anyway. Tracy moved even closer, her voice as soft as a rope. "Joy, that day you followed the old woman with her firewood. What happened?" Joy's face changed, as if she remembered something. She giggled and whispered, "Old lady, she gave me a pot." Tracy's heart jumped. "A pot?" she asked, trying to stay calm. "What kind of pot?" Joy laughed again. "A white pot. If you touch it 3 times, money will come." Tracy's eyes widened with greed, but she hid the surprise from Joy. "Ah, where is the pot?" she asked softly. Joy pointed with her finger. "Under my bed." Tracy stood up at once, trying not to look too eager. Joy's head tilted to the side as if she were falling asleep. Tracy quickly bent down, lifted the cover, and saw the native pot. She caught her breath. She grabbed the object, held it tight, and gave Joy one last look. Joy was already half asleep, unaware of anything. Tracy turned, hurried out of the room, and disappeared with the pot. Joy woke up that morning with a heavy head and a confused mind. She clearly remembered only 2 things. Tracy had come to apologize and had offered her a drink. After that, everything went blank, as if her memory had been erased. Joy sat on her mattress for a moment, trying to remember, but nothing came back. She was angry, not because Tracy had apologized, but because Joy felt that something was wrong. She could not explain it, but she was deeply troubled. "What did she do to me?" Joy whispered. "Why do I not remember anything?" She stood up suddenly and decided to go straight to Tracy's house to ask what had happened the day before. She told herself, "If Tracy is really my friend, she will explain. I will not make any more assumptions." Joy went out and headed to Tracy's house, her face serious and her heart beating fast. On the way, she passed people who greeted her, but she barely answered. She was too focused. While walking, she suddenly saw the old lady, the same one from the day she had carried the wood, approaching her slowly with her cane. Surprised, Joy slowed her pace. "Mama," she said, forcing a smile, "I am glad to see you. Where are you going?" The old woman looked at Joy, and her gaze darkened as if she already knew her thoughts. "My daughter," she said softly, "there is a problem." Joy frowned. "Trouble? What trouble, Mama?" The old woman came closer and lowered her voice. "It is your friend Tracy. She stole your pot." Joy froze on the path. Her whole body went cold. "What?" she whispered. "Mama, what are you saying?" The old woman nodded slowly. "I am telling you before you go and waste your time," she said. "You are on your way to her house, thinking of asking what happened yesterday. But listen to me. If you go home now, you will see that the pot is no longer there. Tracy took it." Joy opened her mouth, but no words came out. Her eyes widened in shock. For a moment she stood there, breathing hard, as if the village road had turned into a dream. Joy shook her head slowly. "No, no, Mama, it cannot be Tracy. Tracy is my best friend." The old woman's face remained impassive. "Your friend is evil," she replied. "You imagine she is already on her way to the city. Do not even bother going to her house. You will not find her." Joy's knees weakened. "The city," she repeated. So she had planned everything. The old woman nodded. Joy's eyes filled with tears at once. She looked at the old woman like a child who had just lost everything. "Mama, what am I going to do?" she asked, trembling. "I am really sorry for everything. I should not have accepted her apology. I did not know she was so wicked. Forgive me." The old woman gently took Joy's hand. "I do not blame you, my child. You are a good person. You trusted someone you loved. It is not your sin." Joy sniffed, tears running down her cheeks. "But, Mama, I disappointed you. I lost what you gave me." The old woman had a determined look. "Do not worry. Karma will take care of it soon. Evil does not last forever. It is always judged in the end." Joy nodded slowly, crying as if her heart were being squeezed. She turned around without even realizing it. She went home, tears in her eyes, because she already knew the truth. Before she even understood it, her best friend had betrayed her. Tracy arrived in the city that same day, her heart pounding. Without even bothering to visit friends, she entered a small, mysterious room she had rented near a noisy street and locked the door at once, as if hiding a stolen treasure. She took out the traditional white pot and placed it on the floor, staring at it with greedy eyes. "So it is true," she whispered, smiling. She touched the pot 3 times and said, "Oh, pot, give me 10 million naira." Stacks of bills appeared inside the pot at once. Tracy let out a cry and covered her mouth so she would not be heard. She began to laugh, tremble, and cry at the same time. "Yes, I am rich," she murmured aloud. "Money. I love money." She took the bills, spread them on the bed, rolled on them like a madwoman, and kissed them. Her eyes shone like those of someone who had waited for this moment all her life. "Joy is crazy," she murmured. "She does not know what she had in her hands. Now it is mine." That same day, Tracy went into one of the luxury shops in the city. She bought herself a new hairstyle, a new wig, new shoes, a refined perfume, shoes that shone like mirrors, and dresses that hugged her curves as if she had been born in the city. She entered phone shops and pointed with confidence. "Give me the latest iPhone," she said, throwing the money on the counter as if it were paper. People began to smile at her, call her Madam, and treat her like an adult. That sweet attention went straight to her head. She began to feel superior to everyone. When evening came, she went into a big salon and had her nails and eyebrows done. Everything. She kept looking at herself in the mirror and smiling. Finally, she said, "I have made it." Night fell and Tracy went to the nightclub. Music blaring, flashing lights, bottles on the tables, people dancing as if their lives depended on it. Tracy sat in the front row like a star. She ordered drinks and handed out bills to everyone. Men quickly gathered around her, laughing at her jokes, calling her baby, asking for her number. Tracy savored the moment like a hungry person eating for the first time. She danced, shouted, and posted photos as if she were living life to the fullest. In her eyes, she had not stolen anything. She told herself it was destiny. She told herself joy was too slow and too holy. "Life is for smart people," she said, laughing. The next day, Tracy woke up and realized the truth she refused to admit. 10 million naira had already been spent. She had spent without counting, as if she wanted to prove something to the whole world. Shopping, nightclub, drinks, hotel, hairdresser, manicure, new phone, and even money given to strangers just to hear "Madam." When she checked her bag and counted what was left, she felt her heart tighten between fear and emptiness. Instead of learning, her greed intensified. "It is not enough," she murmured. "I want more." She took out the white pot, smiled at it tenderly as if it were her boyfriend, and touched it 3 times. "Oh, my pot," she said softly. "Give me more money, a lot of money." She waited, already smiling, imagining buying a car and renting a big apartment. But this time the room became strangely cold. The pot trembled slightly, then disappeared before her eyes like smoke. Tracy's smile vanished at once. "Hey!" she screamed. "My pot!" Before she could even move, the atmosphere in the room changed, and 2 masked figures appeared suddenly, as if rising from the ground. Their bodies were covered, their faces hidden, and their presence filled the room with palpable terror. Tracy's legs gave way. She tried to run, but her body refused to obey. The masked figures moved quickly and began to beat her, not with blood or anything bloody, but with violent blows that made her cry and beg. Tracy screamed, "Help! Help!" But no one came, and the walls muffled her voice. While she cried and begged, one masked figure spoke in a deep, angry voice like the sound of a drum. "Empty human," it said. "Perverse soul. You stole what did not belong to you. You used friendship as a trap. Now listen well. Go back to the village now. Go apologize to your friend. Go return what you stole." Tracy trembled all over and cried hot tears. "Please, do not kill me," she begged. "I am sorry, so sorry. Forgive me. I will go back. I will apologize. I will do anything." The masked figure came closer and warned, "If you delay, your suffering will increase. The gift you stole will never benefit you. It will only destroy you." Tracy nodded quickly, crying like a child. "I will leave now," she promised in a broken voice. The masked figures disappeared as suddenly as they had appeared. Tracy was left alone on the floor, trembling, bruised, and terrified. And for the first time since she had stolen the pot, Tracy understood a harsh truth. Some shortcuts lead straight to punishment. Meanwhile, Joy was in the village, sitting on her mattress in her small room, silent and broken. Her eyes were swollen from crying, and her chest felt heavy as if sand had been poured into it. She kept blaming herself. Why did I trust her? Why did I drink that thing? Why did I not listen to my intuition? She stood up slowly, wiped her face, and turned to sit down again. Then she froze. Her heart pounded. On her small wooden table right in front of her was the white native pot. Joy stared at it as if in a dream. She approached slowly, touched it lightly, then pulled her hand back as if it might disappear. "No, how?" she whispered. Her eyes filled with tears again, but this time it was a mixture of shock and relief. She was still staring at the pot when the atmosphere in the room changed gently, and a voice was heard, soft but clear, as if it resonated in both her ears and her heart. "My daughter, be careful with Tracy," the voice said. Joy trembled all over. The voice continued, "She is on her way to your house. Forgive her, but stay away from her. Never go near her again." Joy swallowed hard, trembling. Who is speaking?" she whispered. But the voice did not answer. It repeated, "Forgive her, but keep your distance." Then the room became calm again. Joy stood there staring at the pot as if it were alive. A few minutes later, there was a rapid, insistent knock on the door, as if someone were begging for mercy. Joy's heart tightened. She went to the door and opened it slowly. Tracy was there. Tracy no longer looked like the Tracy who had left the village with pride. Her eyes were red, her face swollen from crying. Her body looked weak, as if she had gone through a terrible ordeal. As soon as she saw Joy, she fell to her knees. "Joy," she cried, "forgive me. I am sorry." Her voice trembled and tears flowed down her cheeks like rain. "I was blind. I was blinded by greed. I do not know what came over me. Please, my friend, forgive me." Joy stood still, looking at her in silence. Her heart was broken, but the voice she had heard earlier still echoed in her memory. Tracy crawled closer, still crying. "I swear I am sorry," she begged. "I did something horrible. I do not deserve you. Do not hate me. Forgive me." Joy's gaze was calm but firm. "Tracy," said Joy slowly, "I forgive you." Tracy's face lit up with hope. "Yes, I forgive you," she whispered, breathing as if she had just come back to life. Joy repeated, "Yes, I forgive you." Then she added words that hurt more deeply than shouts. "But we can never be friends again." Tracy stood with her mouth open in shock. "Joy, please," she cried. Joy shook her head. "No," she said firmly. "I wish you good luck. I pray that you change. I pray that you become a better person. But you can never be close to me again. You betrayed me. You used me, and I cannot pretend nothing happened." Tracy began to cry harder. "Joy, I beg you. We have been friends since childhood." Joy's voice remained steady. "That is why it hurts, but my decision is final." Tracy tried to take Joy's hand, but she stepped back gently. "Go, Tracy," said Joy. "Please." Tracy's shoulders shook as she cried. She wanted to speak more, beg more, force Joy's heart to soften. But Joy did not move. Joy did not shout. Joy did not insult her. She stood there, calm and silent, like a door that would never open again. Tracy finally stood up slowly, wiped her face, and nodded as if resigned. She gave Joy one last look, her heart full of regret, then turned and left the compound, her heart heavy and her mind empty. Joy watched her go, and even though tears rose in her eyes again, she did not call her back. Because forgiveness does not always mean access to everything, and some friendships must end to protect a good soul. Joy continued to live peacefully in the village, using the white pot only to help those who truly needed it. She paid school fees for children about to drop out of school. She helped the sick buy medicine. She supported widows and the elderly by providing food and shelter. She never boasted. She never made noise. She remembered the warning and kept her heart pure. One day, the news spread through the village that the prince had returned from abroad. He had heard about a young woman in the village who helped people without pride and quietly changed lives. Intrigued, the prince asked to meet her. When they told her, Joy was shocked and frightened. On the day of their meeting, a sweet connection formed between them. There was no pride, no pressure, just peace. They spoke like two people who had known each other forever. The prince admired her kindness and wisdom. Joy admired his humility and calm. From their very first meeting, love grew naturally between them. Only a few days after the start of their friendship, the prince spoke. "Joy," he said, "I have seen many women, but never a heart like yours. Will you marry me?" Joy's eyes filled with tears, not from fear, but from gratitude. She nodded, smiling. "Yes," she said softly, "I want to marry you." But far away, Tracy heard the news. As soon as she learned about the prince, anger filled her like poison. "Joy again," she cried. "She always gets the best. Who is she anyway? That prince is mine." Jealousy consumed her. She had taken the money, she had taken the respect. Now she wanted to take her man too. Tracy's gaze darkened. "I cannot watch her marry him. The prince is supposed to be mine." Blinded by hate, she went to a traditional healer deep in the bush. She told him everything and demanded a charm to end Joy's life. The man looked at her carefully and said, "This path is dangerous. If you accept this charm, do not turn around. Even if someone calls you, do not turn around, or your life will change forever." Tracy nodded quickly. "I will not turn around," she said. "Give it to me." The man gave her the charm, and Tracy left with a heart heavy with darkness. As she walked along the path through the bushes, fear and excitement mixed inside her. Suddenly she heard a man's voice behind her. "Tracy, how are you today?" Her heart jumped, but she remembered the warning. She did not turn around and kept walking. Then the voice came again, softer and sweeter. "It is me, my queen," said the voice. "It is the prince, your prince, the man you desire." Tracy's heart overflowed with hope and desire. The prince, she thought, forgetting the warning, forgetting everything, she turned around. At that exact moment, her gaze changed. She screamed, her mind shattered like glass. Tracy ran at full speed, screaming and laughing at the same time. She rushed to the palace, burst in front of the king, and collapsed in tears. She confessed everything, how she had planned to take Joy's place, how she had gone to get a charm to kill her. "It was greed. It was the devil," she cried. "Forgive me." The king, in shock, remained silent. Before anyone could stop her, Tracy jumped up and fled the palace, laughing and crying, disappearing into the bush, swallowed by the evil she herself had chosen. In the village, Joy remained peaceful, unaware of the storm that had just calmed behind her, because destiny had protected the one who had chosen kindness over emptiness. 1 month later, Joy and the prince got married. Joy wore a beautiful traditional outfit, but what made her shine the most was her gentle, peaceful smile full of gratitude. The prince looked proud and happy, not with ostentatious pride, but with the pride of a man who had finally found the woman of his life. After the wedding, Joy moved in with the prince, and they lived happily. Joy did not become a proud woman. She kept her simplicity. She continued to help people, respect the elders, and take care of the less fortunate. The prince loved her even more for that. Their home was filled with peace, laughter, and love. Shortly afterward, Joy's aunt arrived in tears. Ashamed, she knelt and begged for forgiveness, admitting she had insulted Joy, threatened her, and treated her like a burden. "My daughter," she cried, "I was wicked. I was blind. Forgive me, please." Joy looked at her and remembered all her pain, but also her own suffering. Joy gently lifted her aunt and said, "I forgive you." Her aunt cried even harder, not because she was punished, but because she was forgiven. Joy told her, "Let us move on. It is enough to change." From then on, Joy's story became a living lesson for the village. Kindness may be slow to show itself, but it never dies, and forgiveness is the ultimate victory of a pure heart.